Happy Inflatable Wednesday, Ken.
Yes, sir. Right on time.
And here we go. Are we? Yeah, we are perfectly on time. So see everyone back in a couple minutes.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm up in Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight. Finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but I answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carbon night's off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, told me get myself together. Now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the carbon night is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. The shades of cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. Solo. Picking up my blaster, putting it on my side. I'm jumping in my Falcon. Whoopie at my side. I'm solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. Solo. I'm hot and solo, I'm hot and solo, solo. Now I'm feeling how I should. Join the alliance, it feels so good. Oh, stop feeling misunderstood. Back in the game, who knew I would? Oh, so fly time I spread my wings. Loving myself makes me wanna sing. No, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Told me get my act together. Now I got my act together. Yeah, now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the carbon night is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. The shades of cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. Solo. Picking up my blaster, putting it on my side. I'm jumping in my Falcon. Whoopie at my side. I'm solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. I'm on solo. Solo.
All right, Ken, we made it.
Yes, we made it through Halloween and Election Day. How cool
And
is
election. Yeah. And we're on, as far as I know, we're on TikTok and Facebook. And I'm assuming because I shouldn't jinx us, but we never have a problem getting on YouTube. So,
that? Nice.
and Lord Blood Sith said hello. Again, anyone on TikTok, I am sorry we can't. The chats don't come over here. So if you want the chats to show up over here, I'll try to keep an eye on one of my screens. But if you want the chats to show up on the stream, then you got to jump over to YouTube or Facebook. But anyway, Ken, so I just, you sent me some cool music earlier today. And every time I go to change it, that Han Solo song is just, it's like etched in my brain on a Wednesday. So I'm going to have to make like multiple copies of some, maybe we'll have to switch it up once in a while. But
Well, what we could do is we could put together, let's say, a dozen songs, and we could release it as an album and like a 12 pack of the Inflatable Falcon.
There we go. There we go. But yeah, so Ken, before we get started on everything else, where can people find you?
You can find me on Around the Dejeric Table on the Bantha Milk podcast, occasionally with Todd Lake bounty hunting across the galaxy. And I just put out an episode of The Rambling Star Wars Fan talking about season 2 of Andor. And how about you? Where else can the world find you?
Well, here, Korea Cast possibly, but TikTok, Hitting Star Wars Family, and I don't know why our names aren't showing up. But yeah, you can find me, usually here or TikTok. I don't know why. Why is your name showing up, Ken?
Yeah, I see both of our names. Bottom
Why-
left corner of my screen.
My name is not showing up. Oh, now I see it. It's showing up. It's not showing up on my screen, but I see it showing up on TikTok. Oh, that's pretty funny. All right.
Someday it'll make sense.
Someday it'll. Yeah, I don't know. I think Restream is just trying to mess with me. They've changed the screen, everyone. But yeah, so this is our Wednesday talk. So Ken, I listened to your newest podcast. It's worth admission alone just for your intro song. But it was a really good one. If people wanted, I don't even. I would call it a deep dive, but you still like a deep dive on Andor. That was a deep dive, but there's still so much more.
Oh goodness, yeah! And I was thinking about it today that I could do episode 3, episode 4 of that idea that there was so much in Andor that was off the charts, unexpected, and amazing.
Yeah. So if you want to listen to some really cool stuff about Andor, that I feel like I listened to it and had more questions after listening to yours.
What's one question that came up from
well, no, just like when you were talking about the wedding and all that ceremony stuff. And then I was like, wow, like Ken, what other worlds? I know they haven't gone as deep into other worlds, but like you could just do, like we have so many traditions in Star Wars. Like we have Life Day coming up.
Yep.
We have so many things that started out as what are the nugget things you call them?
Nostalgic nuggets.
that started out as like real life nostalgic nuggets, like something to kind of like make us feel like, Christmas or holidays was the, and so like I was like, how many of those touchstones or threads that, like, I don't even know what you would call them, like they're almost like little attachments that attach to you when you watch the film.
Yeah,
that kind of like it turns your heart towards that. Like we all know, we all know what a wedding is. No matter who we are, whether most of your family just went to a JP and had a party, or your family had the big blown out wedding, or anywhere in between, we all have wedding traditions, similar to the first season when they had the funeral traditions with making people into a brick.
Yeah. Or go back to Return of the Jedi with the funeral pyre.
Right.
Which is a throwback to Viking ceremonies and stuff like that. So it's wildly wonderful to see real world things inspiring Star Wars, and then Star Wars inspiring real world things. I mean, speaking of weddings, we both costumed at a wedding of folks who decided to make the whole entire thing from soup to nuts Star Wars themed.
Well,
drink menu that has Star Wars themes, and their wedding cake was Star Wars themed.
Well, I'm going to come back to that wedding thing after we do our intros, because that just made me think of something. But there's so many, I think I've done 3 Star Wars weddings, I think, total.
Okay.
But yeah, so, and unfortunately, I think one of them's already ended in divorce, but the Force works in mysterious ways. So Ken, did you get to work on anything? I know.
Unfortunately, I didn't. Just trying to reorganize my space, and one of the things I've realized is that my prop building and my podcasting are very similarly themed, meaning I don't have a specified place to do it, so I have to move things around, and my equipment doesn't always work the way that I want it to, and so I have to fiddle and fumble through that. And so even though I didn't make anything, I didn't build any props or didn't work on any costumes, I was able to finally put the pieces together for that episode that I'd been working on for probably a couple months.
Maybe you need one of those wearable green screens, that's just behind your back.
Well, I have one that was attached to the back of a gaming chair. It's like a big halo, but then the camera has to be like really, really close so it doesn't see beyond the green screen. It's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, I didn't work on much. Halloween kind of ate into my weekend, so my we'll see what I have some plans for this weekend. We'll see how that spells out. The daylight savings is it sounds like a good idea, but man, it just when it gets dark so early, I'm just like my mind doesn't turn to doing extra work. So, but yeah, I got Vader is still coming trudging along. I have some pieces that I gotta mess around with all the resin prints. I got a new thing of resin came in today, so I probably still got about a week or two of resin printing window before it gets too cold to print in the resin. And I figured out the curing process. I figured out a good process for that as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's the post, the whatever you call it, the post I forget what you call it, but the post like cleanup and all that. It's just kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, we didn't have a topic today, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I was thinking podcast. I was thinking Star Wars podcast. So I always try to expand my podcast listening, but there's just not enough time in the commute and the day to add. Like it's not that I'm against any one podcast, but I'm like I can't get hooked on any more podcasts because I'm running out of time, or so. But I know, like I said, there's certain people, like anywhere you go, I listen, and anywhere Sal goes and anywhere Zoe goes, that's like my top 3 go-tos of who to listen to.
And that's hours in a week right there, because each episode of all these shows is roughly 45 minutes to an hour. So
yeah. Well, and Zoe did a stint on Steel Wars Sunday night or Monday night.
Oh, cool.
So like an idiot, I stayed up to listen to them live. Well, they started at midnight. So, and Zoe they were going for like an hour and a half. So not a wise way to begin my week.
What was their topic? I haven't seen it.
They were talking about the Ben Solo, all the Ben Solo buzz.
Oh, okay.
Which we should probably, did we talk about that at all?
Briefly.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm still in the mindset of moving forward on stuff. And I also feel like the cynic in me with the Ben Solo stuff, I feel like Adam Driver was done with Star Wars, similar to like Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill were after Return of the Jedi. And then when things didn't quite work out for him as well as I think he thought it would, then all of a sudden he has Star Wars. Like that's the cynic in me. I don't know.
Well, I just wish, and I know it's nearly impossible to do this because our connections aren't as great as we would like them to be, but to just get more of the details of the story, because we've only heard little bits and pieces of it. Like
Right.
where did all this come from? Who was it that he talked to that supposedly turned it down or approved it or whatever? And then the other goofy question I have that I don't think we'll ever get an answer to: why now?
Right.
It's
and again,
involved in a lot of things, but why put it out there in the universe this way now?
Well, I think by the third movie, the sequels suffered from what the prequels suffered from. Like I liked them, you liked them, but how many people do we know were like so anti whatever? What you pick the second or third Star Wars of the new ones, and like I understand in some sense why they might have turned it down, because they were like, well, look, everyone's hating on it. Let's just move on to we have this hidden Mandalorian that we know he's going to bring everybody back. So just, I mean, that's my logic. And then like I said, the cynic in me thinks like Adam Driver, like it just, like how much of the 80s was spent and 90s was Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford trying to distance himself from Star Wars, So, I mean, we don't understand it because we're not actors by profession and stuff like that. So I guess it's just like you don't want to be typecast. You want to be successful, but you don't want to be typecast. And then I think it's just a vicious.
Well, I'm not, as you know, I'm not an actor.
You don't play one on TV?
I don't even play. Yeah, I don't even play an actor on TV. So I don't know what that sensation is like. And what's also I find interesting about this Ben Solo, the hunt for Ben Solo stuff, is almost all of the articles, and it doesn't matter what outlet it is or which news source it is, whether it's Joe Blow, .com or someone on Instagram, they all tend to have a similar line, and that is that, to your point, the sequels weren't really liked, so then they hear this rumor of this story treatment and they say, oh, this would have been awesome, I would have watched that. Like,
yeah,
wait a minute. Like, on one hand you're saying that the sequels weren't that great, but now you're saying that this story that you've never read, it hasn't been made, you're saying you would watch that. So it's
that's what I'm saying. I just think the cynic in me just thinks like someone just needed some, like, all press is good press when you're an actor, so you have, I don't think anyone was talking about Adam Driver in the last couple weeks, so now everyone's talking about it.
And they've managed to tie in the Acolyte to this conversation too, because he was Adam Driver, and that character was a Knight of Ren. And when they look at a little blurb in the Art of the Acolyte saying that it was rumored that Kymir was one of the original Knights of Ren, and so now the Acolyte is back into conversation,
which is good.
Yeah.
So again, it's just that's just I guess that's just how things roll. But back to the wedding thing, okay?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this when I was listening to your show. Do you think Andor season 2 is going to up the ante on the next Star Wars wedding that in the future that you and I possibly wind up trooping?
Yeah, I think so. If they're going to do a Star Wars themed wedding, they're probably going to, figure out a Star Wars dance, or maybe even incorporating Niamos into the playlist that gets, played after the ceremony and the dinner and the cutting of the cake and all that kind of stuff. I can definitely see it upping the ante a whole bunch.
Because the one wedding I did, one of them, they were dressed, all the girls had a variation of Rey's costume, like the women and the bride, and all of the men, I think, had, I can't remember if they were Jedi robes or some kind of Mandalorian armor. I forget which one it was, but it was, so now you have whole guests of hundreds of guests at a wedding with different clothing that you could stop and take a picture of and take it to someone to make you.
And considering the efforts that Michael Wilkinson and his team put in for that particular part of Andor, I could see them really upping the ante, because those costumes were glamorous. Those costumes were deeply rich and vibrant and vivid and fancy.
I would rather dress up in one of those than a suit.
Yeah. Even though it's a different kind of suit.
Oh yeah, but, I mean, I could see a Star Wars wedding book. You just buy it. Here, take this to your seamstress and get this made or this made.
Well, how about that costume that Cassian wore when he went to Gorman the first time? When he went to Gore, where he was actually playing the role of I don't know if it was a textile person, but somebody in fashion, and he had those funky sunglasses that weren't sunglasses, and like that suit alone was super cool.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised we haven't seen anybody cosplay that yet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we also know that the soft goods are always the bane of most. You can fudge painting and bending plastic, but man, sewing is magic to me.
Yeah, it's a definitely a fancy art form for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I don't know. That's what I thought about when I was listening to your show. We do have next week. We do have our recordings of
Act
Empire
1.
Striketh Back, and I feel like we're going to be I'm going to have to really push out this week some stuff to get these people lined up. But we will have to. I'll have to post up early at the end of this week because I have a half day in service Friday, so I won't have much to do Friday night when I get home. So I'll have to put a whole call out because when people are checking their social medias on the weekend, we can get it all lined up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so far I think it's you, me, and Todd so far.
Yeah.
I
So
haven't heard anything back from Eric yet.
yeah. So yeah, we'll see what's going on there. But yeah, anyone else that wants to join in, contact Ken or I. Ken even said it on his podcast. But we're coming up on an anniversary. What anniversary you figured out was 3 or 4?
For us?
Yeah.
3.
We don't have a cast yet, but we're flying in the Millennium Inflatable Falcon. We're flying by the seat of our inflatable pants. So we're doing inflatables for our students on Friday, and I did recommend the Millennium Falcon, and then I told them what it would cost, and they looked at me like I had 2 heads. So
were they talking about buying an inflatable?
No, renting it, but I think renting those things are still like $1,000 or something like that, depending on where you're at, because they're the big, because they have to send a crew to put them together and stuff like that. So because we went to rent when the girls were little. Now, so this would have been 15 years ago. We wanted to rent one of the obstacle courses, and it was $700 then to rent it for 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours. Well, they said you can have it for the day. If you want to go pick it up, but I didn't have a truck. They were like, "Well, you'll need." I was like, "I don't have a truck." They're like, "Okay, well, we can deliver it," and I was like, "We'll send 2 people to set it up." So I was like, I could just see dollar signs. I was like, "Yeah, we'll let the kids run around with water balloons."
Or even squirt guns. With squirt guns, you don't have to worry about picking up all the little
right. That's true.
Of
yeah.
latex. Oh, so we got Sue and Todd, so that makes 4 of us.
There we got 4. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out. We've done more with less planning. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, well, so if we want to talk tonight, like just Star Wars in general, but even podcasts, we were talking about all the different podcasts, and every time we do our podcast, I appreciate those people that do all the other stuff with their podcast, editing and all that kind of stuff. Because I just know the amount of time it takes. And, most, I would say, I don't know an exact percentage, but an extremely high percentage of the podcasters are not making any money. It's just like a labor of love. And love doesn't pay the bills. You know what I mean? It's just...
it just feeds the soul.
It feeds the soul, yeah. Yeah. It's the, and
that's one of the things I struggle with the most is the editing part of it. I mean, when it was just an audio podcast, even that I spent several hours editing what ended up being a 1-hour show. And now that I'm doing the YouTube stuff, it's even more intense because I find myself thinking about what I'm going to say while also thinking about what I want to show while I'm saying what I want to say. And it's really, really tough for me because I have a hard time putting all those pieces together into something polished and
well, and see, I also often wonder, because I like doing editing and making stuff neat and trim and clean, but I wonder if my profession, where nothing ever comes out neat and clean, like I'm talking to 100+ kids a day, and you never know. I could say, we have to do this in 6 to 7 minutes, and they're all running around 6, 7, 6, 7. So you know what I mean. So you never know.
You had to say 6, 7, didn't you?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Or when I taught math, you never wanted the number to come out to 69. Like it was just like, oh God. You're doing a textbook and you see what's coming and you're like, crap.
Yeah. All right, kids, turn to page 69.
Yeah.
And snickering in the background.
Yeah. So, maybe that's why I'm probably a little less polished than I used to be. Like when I first started teaching podcast, I was like, look, you have to have a script. You have to, plan this out. And then as I go on, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's that whole adage of quantity is its own form of quality, if that makes sense.
I can understand that to a certain degree.
I mean, I'm not saying you put out garbage, but at a certain point, at least for me, like I have to teach 6 classes a day, no matter how good it is. If a kid makes it go sideways, for 5 minutes in, I still got 45 minutes to it still has to be done. So
yeah,
and I think I've just taken that with podcasting to a certain point. That it works for, but your show, whatever you're putting into it, it shows. So you should be proud of that show. So your angst of getting it out, maybe your quality is just getting out as much. If you're doing 6 shows a year, 3 shows a year, you're still podcasting, bud.
I'm still. Yeah, I mean, when we first started doing the way back when the forces behind Star Wars,
right?
I think the number you told us, if you make it to 7, if you make the 7 podcasts, then there's a good chance you're going to continue on.
Yeah.
And so I'm stuck really hard to keeping that in mind. I'm past 7, so I gotta keep going with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look at what we've done here. We're on 170. This is 175, maybe. Like that's a lot of time. That's a lot. I mean, we should have just done our episodes by the hour, and we'd be on like episode like 500 or something like that.
Yeah, because there's many episodes that we've gone the 2-hour plus mark.
Yeah. Now we're like an hour and a half. Well, that was kind of short. They're creeping up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, but it is hard. Like it's hard to do. I equate podcasts somewhat with teaching in the sense that your thanks comes way too late or never at all. Like I've had a few students have come back and said, "Oh, Mr. Hinton, you did, this and this," but it was 10, 15 years later, like they, and that's fine. I mean, but it's the same as teaching and podcasting. I don't do it for the accolades, and I don't podcast for the accolades. I mean, I like them. Like I like the little likes and the hearts and all the things you can get in whatever your social media feed is, but I do it for me, and I can say I'm a podcaster, and I enjoy that. Like it's not the stigma that it was 5 or 6 years ago, for good or bad,
Well, now it seems that podcasting has turned a corner, and here's what I mean by this. Now it's not just us, the audience members that are doing podcasts about things, but now the makers of things are doing podcasts about their making of things. I mean, I don't know, was it I mean, we talk about the Pot of Rebellion, which is a fantastic show. Katie Sackhoff has her own podcast.
Yep.
There's is it Family Matters, I think I heard recently, is going to be doing a podcast. And well, some folks from ILM, from Industrial Lights and Magic, have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it is nice in that regard that it is coming around, but sometimes I get like, hey, wait a minute, you're already famous. Let us have the podcast land.
Yeah.
And I've said this from day one when Zoe started podcasting, that other podcasts are not your competition. Your competition is everything else that keeps, because if people listen to podcasts, Star Wars, you'll eventually find what niche of Star Wars podcast you like. And occasionally when Ken's like the emissary. If you're on a show, Ken, I'm going to listen to it. And that usually gets me hooked to their, so, and there are a lot of good shows out there. Like I wish more shows would go visit other shows, even across, genres, like I listen to, like, even, I like the Dad Batch, but they record the same time we record. But they've talked Marvel sometimes. And stuff like that. So it is neat. Like Zoe and Lizzie, they're similar to stream of consciousness with us. They get sidetracked pretty easy on there.
Yeah. Well, the other cool thing about podcasting is not only does it allow you to connect with other makers, but also to find out what folks are interested in hearing about or talking about. I mean, we've had, Todd and Sue listen to the show for quite a while, and often, make comments about whether they enjoy the randomness of our Seat of the Pants episode, or they've listened to the last episode and enjoyed it. But sometimes those comments help guide us into that next episode, that next topic, that next area to discuss.
Yeah. Well, and when we had, who do we have on? We had from Magic Jump. That was
Is that Jose?
Yeah, we had Jose on from Magic Jump. I loved hearing his take, because sometimes we get in our echo chamber of just talking about our Star Wars, and it's almost like you meet a new fan, or someone that just really likes Star Wars in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, imagine us sitting down and talking with someone who is just a collector of toys, doesn't make costumes, doesn't do podcasting, but just enjoys collecting, or somebody who bakes cupcakes that are with stormtrooper helmets on them or whatever.
Yeah,
they enjoy Star Wars, and they express their fandom in that way. Just to see the kind of creativity that's available or that exists.
Well, and I had someone contact me this week. They were in Disney, and they have a release of the Life Day pins for 2025.
Wow.
And they sent me a message. Hey, would you like me to pick one of these up? I haven't really talked to this person in probably 20 some years. And I was like, yeah, sure. And they couldn't get them if they were sold out, but they're a pin collector. Like that person, they collect Disney pins. So, and I'm not a pin, I'm not a pin collector, but it was just neat that someone was a cross section, person, and reached out to me to see if I wanted a Life Day pin. So I thought that was pretty neat. And again, I like hearing the other fandoms. Like, I'm not a toy collector, but I do love this old Star Wars toys. And I feel that, like, I think there's a book, or I don't know if I imagined there was a book, but I thought there was a book of all the like toy box covers of Kenner.
There was a book. The name of the book is The Man Who Shot Luke Skywalker.
Right. Okay.
And he was the photographer who did a lot of the photographs of the toys for early Kenner box art.
Yeah. And so, like, when I hear toy collectors, I like that. Or I don't know about you, like, I've been lately going through and finding the old Sears books online. And like, I'm like, I want a high res picture of one of those to blow up as a poster to put in my stairway coming downstairs. Because I remember, but I'm saying, like, that's where the cross fandom, if we can remember those things we liked. I'm not going to collect toys. It's just not my thing right now. I might someday, like, when I get super old and can't wear a costume anymore, maybe I'll revert back to collecting toys and kick myself for selling all my toys. But
well, see, I'm looking to find someone. So do you remember it was in the 80s, the carrying case that was in C3, the silhouette of C3PO's head and shoulders and Darth Vader's head and shoulders?
Yes.
I'm looking for someone that can help me design one of those, except I don't want it to fold up and be carried. I want it to be just one half of it that's large enough to hold the 6-inch figures and can be mounted on a wall.
Oh, nice.
So that's the kind of display I want, is that, so it's in the silhouette of Vader, or it's in the silhouette of C3PO, but big enough to hold 6-inch figures, the Black Series 6-inch.
Well, so when I had my old Star Wars room at my old house when I first got married, I had the Darth Vader. I also had the silver and the yellow C3PO, because they made a gold one. I mean, they made a gold one, and then they made one that was just yellow plastic. I think his eyes lit up or something like that. And I built bookshelves that fit. So I had a black bookshelf, and it had Vader's sitting on top, and I had a yellow bookshelf, and it had 3PO, and I put my figures on that back in like 92, 93. But you know which one might work for you is the Star Wars toy box. Remember those figures? It looks like Pixar's.
Yeah.
They made a cardboard Vader that fit those in there. So that would be like a good template to start with, because it was the shape of Vader's head.
Okay.
So if you're ever around there, I'll be nerd. Yeah. Well, you say I'll wheeling around nursing home. I'll probably be wheeling around nursing home finishing Vader. Is if yeah. So
well, hopefully by the time that we're wheeling around, that we'll be able to program our scooters with blaster noises, and instead of just like those little squeezy,
oh yeah,
cartoon clown horns and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll probably, sound like Vader, wheezing and such.
Yeah, I do. I wish like I saw. Yeah, I wish we could have more cross contamination. Would that be a pollination? Pollination. It could be contamination if depending on how you work it. But yeah, I wish we had more cross like references and stuff like that with people. The droid builders. Like you said, there's the people that could be making Star Wars cakes. There's the people that I like some of the costumes I see where people dress like casual Star Wars. Like instead of dressing like Ahsoka, the girl might have white and blue ribbons in her hair.
Yeah.
And have a I don't know what you call that, because Zoe did. What's the movie going around? Demon Hunters. Like her and her friends went to the movies and they dressed like the characters if they were casual.
So they have a term for that in Disney. It's called bounding. It's so your clothes are inspired by, but it's not meant to mimic exactly.
Oh, okay.
So for instance, if a lady wore a white dress and a silver belt, she might go as might bound as Princess Leia, or I'm wearing blue jeans, a white shirt, and a navy blue vest like Han Solo.
Now that you say that, I think I saw people doing that. Like I saw people with, like I saw a guy, he looked Solo-esque, and instead of a blaster strapped to his leg, he had one of those like man purse things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And what they do, they do that specifically at Disney and Disneyland to get around the no adults can wear costumes in the park.
Yeah.
So other than special occasions, you can't walk into, Galaxy's Edge dressed like a Mandalorian or anything like that, or as a Jedi, but they'll let you, go bounding.
Okay, that sounds doable. I don't know when my next trip to Disney is, but
you can go to the Disney store.
That's true. I was disappointed by the Disney store up here. I was looking; they had almost no Star Wars stuff. I was looking for some, just to see if they had, and I was very disappointed. So, I did. I don't think she's watching. I did score a mouse droid though.
One of the $99 ones?
Yeah. A guy was selling one unopened in York, Pennsylvania.
You're kidding.
I paid $125 for it.
Because I was trying to get one of those for weeks. Couldn't
yeah,
find
because I was gonna for Sappy, I was gonna do one for Christmas for. I was gonna buy a kit and let her build one. And then I thought, well, that's kind of crappy giving someone homework for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, kids used to get chemistry sets and Play-Doh fun factories and stuff.
But when I started pricing to build one, and when I started pricing it out, like a Traxxas Bandit they don't make them anymore. So you either have to buy a used one or the replacement car and remote and everything. You're talking $200 plus. And then the body kit, depending if you want vacuum formed or 3D printed, which I don't like the 3D printed ones just because the beating those things take. So a vacuum formed one is $99, but you got to cut all the holes out. And then and then all the greeblies are another $50. And I was like, I think I'll just buy plus I think the one from this one has the lights in it, like that were in Mando season 3.
The police lights?
Yeah. So,
did you get it already?
Yeah, it's here. I just didn't open. It's brand new. It's not. It hasn't been opened yet, so it's
Oh, that's
already
awesome.
it's already wrapped. So
Does she know she's getting it, or did you
nope,
just
she has
ruin
no
Christmas?
clue. She has no because she was interested in one, and it's one of those interests just kind of fell by the wayside. Like it's just trying to get a gift that's like a surprise, that they want
That
but
we've
don't know.
just told the universe about.
Well, yeah, but Sappy doesn't watch. This show's too long. She's a 21st century 20-year-old. If it's longer than 7 minutes, she's not watching. You know,
Not getting to the 48-minute mark on a podcast.
on a podcast that her dad does now, and she's not downstairs playing video games. She had a bunch of schoolwork to do. So, but yeah, that's again like the Droid Builders is a good example. There's a new group. Did you see the new group? It's the Home Depot R2D2 group.
What?
So, Home Depot has that R2D2 that you can buy.
Yes.
So now there's a group that helps you make that look even better. And they also look out for when they're for sale. It's a pretty neat group, for an R2D2 Christmas ornament. So, you can
And that was
still
what, $125 too, right? Or was that more?
No, I think it's like I want to say $250 or $299 or something
Oh,
like that.
Jesus.
But you can't. They're still out of stock. I have my Yoda. That's the one I have. That I would pay like what $50 or something like that.
Yeah. And I have the Yoda that you.
Yeah, you have one. I think you have one, and Marty has one because I picked up 3. I sold my Vader and my Stormtrooper, and then you can still get them. You can still get the Vader, Stormtrooper, and Chewbacca.
Really?
You can order them right now. They're not.
Wow.
I think they're going to. The R2 is tempting because I'm like, is there a chance 3PO is coming next year? Like, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like because if they come out with C3PO and then I can't find the R2, then I'm like, But I don't need any more big purchases.
See, it's the merchandising of this galaxy just amazes me.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to sit in the various offices where these decisions are being made, just to witness how they come to what they come to.
Well, right. And some of it's really good. Like to me, the life-size Chewie, Vader, and Stormtrooper for the average person is super good. Like and the Chewies, I've seen people do the hair, and the Chewie is actually pretty nice. The Vader and Stormtrooper bug me just because of some of the inconsistencies in the costume, and that's just me being a jerk. I know.
I just watched A New Hope today.
Yeah.
And not to break your heart, there are inconsistencies of the costumes from that movie that came out in the 70s.
Well, no, and I can take those inconsistencies. I think what bugged me the most about the Stormtrooper and Vader was a mismatch, and it seemed like nothing matched up. Like they made him just a little too tall, and they made his lightsaber a little too small. And you know what I mean? And the chest box wasn't from any movie, and the helmet wasn't from, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what bothered me more than anything. Like, if it would have been like, oh, this is A New Hope, or this is a this, or it was, and the Stormtrooper was kind of the same way. Like, there was just some inconsistencies that they didn't, that was just me. But that's just me being, and again, it's hard for me if I can just put my Stormtrooper, if I didn't have Stormtrooper armor in my house, then that Stormtrooper would have been perfectly fine.
So this makes me wonder. So we've talked about the droid builders and these animatronic things that you can get at Home Depot, and I've seen people take like skeleton animatronics, Halloween animatronics, and fit them with Jawa costumes.
Yeah, that one I was like, that might be a good way to keep my kids' Jawa costumes.
So I'm wondering if there's a place for a new group. So you're not building droids and you're not building costumes, but you're building animatronics. So
yeah. Well, and a lot of those guys fall into the droid builders, because they build some of those animatronics and they put them in droids. That seems like to be the.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so you're a costumer, I'm a costumer. Instead of just getting a static mannequin, to put
Oh
your
yeah.
stormtrooper on. You build the frame, the animatronic frame, to put your stormtrooper costume on that has some motion to it. Because, I mean, if you put it on now, it's going to move around with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So in theory, it could very easily go onto an animatronic frame.
Well, I think the hardest part of that would be is building the frame. Like I built Safi's one mannequin, and it was fine with spray foam, but it does take a considerable amount of time to build the right. Like I would love to make a mannequin of myself, like the proportions of me, so the costume looks like when I wear it, which might be scary, but you know, yeah, that's not a bad. I saw the Jawa with the skeleton, and I thought that was crazy good.
Yeah, because you got to figure these animatronics have to be pretty. I'm going to use this word, having never built one myself. Pretty simple.
Oh yeah.
So we're not talking, motion activated and can pick up a car or strength or anything like that. Inside it just seems like it's PVC and
usually it's
gears
just
and
a
motor.
servo that turns in a circle, and it just has something that makes it move one direction, like the hand.
Yeah.
Like the stormtrooper head, when you looked at it, he just turned. It was just on a off-centered like spinner, and the head just kind of turned. I don't think the Vader. I think he might have turned side to side. I haven't seen the Chewie in person, but the Chewie's just. I don't think I have a ceiling down here high enough for the Chewie.
Yeah. See, you probably wouldn't be able to get a B1 battle droid down there either, full size.
No,
because those are pretty tall too, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I could get my IG-11 stands. It makes it. He's pretty tall.
Yeah, but is that 100% scale?
Yeah, that's 1-to-1.
Because I always thought IG-11 was taller than Vader.
He's like, well, no, Vader. The problem with Vader in here, his head didn't hit, his lightsaber hit, but he stood on a little bit of a pedestal.
Oh, okay.
So, if Chewie was on a pedestal, I guess Chewie would probably fit down here. The Chewie one interests me, but I was like, just they take up a lot of room. Oh yeah, there we go. Windshield wipe. Yeah. Well, and what's really kind of nice too now is like micro servos and stuff that they use for the droid builders. Those things are really inexpensive compared to what they were even like 10 years ago. Used to be you had to buy an Arduino and hook. Now you can just buy like a Raspberry Pi that's already pre-programmed and just plug it in and go to town on it.
Yeah.
Or like you said, just tear apart a Christmas,
Halloween, yeah, something like another.
Just wait, whatever's 50% off. Guess what? Jack Skellington, you're going to be a Tusken Raider soon. So
something like that. I'm surprised there isn't a group like that, because if there's groups for Nerf gun modifications.
Oh,
and I don't even mean where you modify it to shoot farther, harder, faster, where they take them apart and make them, Star Warsified or whatever.
Yeah. I'm looking here. I'm gonna see if I can send it to you. Let me see. I'm gonna show you this group if I can. This is real good podcasting when I'm looking on my phone.
Is it the Wookiee group?
No, this is let me see.
Or the R2 group.
This is this is not a group. This is not a Star Wars group, but it might fall in line with let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, here it is. Turn this down a second. Let's see.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll mention that Heather got a kick out of our last episode. I told her that Nugget climbed up my body and rested on my shoulder.
Yeah.
She actually fell asleep there, and when we went back and watched the video, she was there for a half an hour, just sleeping on my shoulder.
Hey, you know, I don't know if that's a good commentary on our show that we put someone to sleep.
Put someone's pet to sleep.
But we could market it as, is your pet having a hard time sleeping? Let them listen to us.
Yeah.
You, but yeah, but the groups kind of circle back to what we were talking about, in the sense that if you could just, you know, build a group of fun things to do that helps your fandom, you know, like costuming and podcasting seem to be you and I's go to. You know, I mean, we both collect some stuff here and there, but I think it are one of our other ways of expression are that, and you know, I just wish we can get people to intermingle with that. You know, because the costuming groups, I got to get back into that. Like, yeah, there's I sent you that video. Did you see? Yeah, if you want to check those builds out, check those builds out. I'm check those builds out and keep this in the back of your mind. Um, Wampa, because I was watching that, and the headache of the Wampa is always someone having to learn stilts. But if you look at how that guy does some stuff, it solves the Wampa problem.
That could be cool.
So, but any of those,
check that out.
You know, I saw that group, and after we'll promote it next time. But I want you to watch it first.
Well, that could be. We should reach out to someone from that group to come on the show and talk about puppetry.
There we go. So there we go. That's our show after. That's the show after next. But even comic books, like I went to the comic book store Sunday, and I just want to look at the new Star Wars comics and see what was out. And there was some cool covers, so I bought 2 comic books just for the covers. I should have brought them down here, but one was it's Boba Fett. It's all black and white with Boba Fett on the front. It's just a good cover. And I just thought, like, I used to like when Dark Horse had Star Wars years ago. There were many times I bought it just for the cover, because
during the legacy times.
Yeah. During the dark times when that was all the Star Wars you got. You know what I mean? Like, and but some of the Marvel covers are looking that way too. You know, I like the comic book looking covers too, but sometimes I do like a nice piece of artwork as a cover. Like, it's some of those covers you're thinking that'll be a poster someday. Like when they you know, that's some of the covers were like that. So
you got to get into the comic book shop in February, because I think that's when the Jar Jar comic comes out.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to convince the Lancaster comic book store that I've been going to since, I want to say 86 or 85. You know, actually, they were Park Hobbies in 1980. I bought my first 20-sided dice at this place called Park Hobbies. I saved up $5 for a 20-sided dice. One 20-sided dice in $1980. You know, I still have that sucker too. So no one's allowed to use that except me. That's like my dice. But yeah, I was talking to them about Free Comic Book Day, and I was like saying, like, possible like live, like we could live stream from their parking lot or something like that.
Okay.
So we'll see.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Get some people there. I know one year we probably had 5 or 6 guys in costume. There was a TARDIS from Doctor Who. They had a TARDIS there. They had the Ghostbusters there. Batman was there. A guy dressed as Batman. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think we even had a Wampa that time. We had someone dressed as a Wampa, but that didn't practice on their stilts. They walked across the parking lot and had to lean up against the wall because they almost fell over and killed themselves.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay right here.
I'll stand here. I can't, you know. But yeah, that's you know. And we have the inflatable Falcon, the actual one from Magic Jump. Like, that's a whole nother group of Star Wars, because I still watch that video once in a while of the inflatable, like the real inflatable Falcon. that was not made by someone who does not know Star Wars.
Yeah, and so we got to speak with Jose. I think it would be cool if we could figure out a way of getting Jose back.
Yes.
With a couple members of the design team.
Yeah.
Just to, how do you take this iconic spaceship and map it onto an inflatable bounce house?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
But there were some deep cuts in that.
Yes.
There's some deep cuts in that bounce house. Like,
I mean, they went the lengths of putting a Dejeric table in there.
Yeah, well, the Dejeric table, but they also put that weird bed that's behind the like like that no one ever notices until possibly when Chewie was on it, when he got shot or whatever,
Well, no, what else? Because wasn't it also in Solo?
No, it was, but it wasn't used. It's that weird.
It wasn't used as a bed. You're right.
It's that weird little. It's just behind
like an alcove
gaming. Yeah, it's like a little indent. Like, because I always thought it was a shelf when I was a kid. I just thought it was a shelf back there. So, yeah, that's definitely, we got to talk. I know, but again, that's a whole nother world of, like, they have a whole inflatable bounce house cons. Like, I guess because I don't know if because we talk about it or because our podcast is known, I get so many ads for those, or start my own inflatable.
Well, you're also on the Jump USA. Is it no Magic Jump?
Magic Jump, yeah.
You're one of the ambassadors for Magic Jump with all the shares and likes.
Oh, that's true. That's probably why. But I'm saying I get all these things and I'm like, I could, I'd be the worst, like, 1980s late night television infomercials, because I could start my own bounce house business after I get like the 4th or 5th email, with just a minimal investment. I'm like,
well, it's interesting you mentioned cons. So there are, like, not just horror cons, but animatronic haunt cons where you can go and learn how to build scares for your corn maze, or you can go and learn what the next greatest inflatable will be. All these professional type conventions.
Yeah.
This over here we got the people who they sell patches for these things, and over here you got the people that sell the pumps. You want to make sure that your inflatable doesn't deflate. You need the Whisper Engine 3000.
Yeah.
And all the other paraphernalia that goes with it. There's a con for just about everything.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I like to reach out and get more people in that. I'm still, I feel what's like, I feel myself getting pulled back into Dungeons and Dragons more, and Warhammer keeps creeping up in all my, like, I was digging through my old stuff from my store, and I found my old coupon that I gave out when I had my store, and it was a Warhammer coupon. I was like, oh man, it's the, I found some of my old White Dwarf magazines, and so I'm like, and the olden days when we would sit and look at, like, a White Dwarf magazine, and it would have the rounds of each move of these tons of pieces, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, because we didn't have as much Star Wars stuff back then, so we filled it with things that were Star Wars-esque, and they ran with a Star Wars theme. Either it could have just been the music playing while you were watching something, but now we have more Star Wars, and we even have more if all these actors are writing scripts that aren't getting made. We have 10 times more.
Well, for all we know, there are 3 more articles waiting to come out over the course of the next 6 months.
Yeah.
John Boyega I haven't heard about John Boyega in Star Wars recently.
Well, that's what every actor is going to be like. They're going to be like, well, wait a minute, he got a lot of press for that. So they're going to be like, oh, on the back of my lunch menu, I wrote an entire script for, what was
outside Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, what was the bounty hunter guy in Mandalorian that got killed right away? They went and found Fennec.
Oh yes, not Newt. what was his name? The guy who played by Dominic Pace?
No. That guy too. But I'm saying like Dominic Pace. Yeah, Dominic Pace is the case study for taking someone who was in Star Wars for like 10 seconds and making it, a whole thing. But no, what was the guy?
Oh, he was on Tattoo. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He was in the guild very, very briefly.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got the pit droids took him out to they dumped his body.
Yeah. Well, he probably wrote a 3-part miniseries for a comic. That's what he wrote.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's going to be doing that to get some press time. So, well, we have coming up. We have our Empire Striketh Back. We have Life Day coming up, which is when
2 weeks. It's November 17th.
November 17th.
I'm pretty sure that's when Life Day is.
Is it a Life Day Prime Day or is it just a regular Life Day? Because isn't like the real original Life Day was every 2 years.
I thought, was it every 2 years or was it every 3 years?
I was thinking it was 2, but you could be right about that. I thought it was, but I'm saying then they changed it to every year. I think because they thought we can make pins for it every year now.
Yeah, so November 17th is when the holiday special came out.
So that would be
and that was in 78, November 17th, 1978.
So that's a Sunday this year, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm reading my calendar right. Make sure I didn't have.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear on Life Day.
It's a Monday. Oh, wait a minute. That's 2026. Wait a minute.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Wait, what calendar am I on? Oh, yeah, okay. Now I see. Wait a minute.
Are you looking at the ancient Mayan calendar? Because I think
I don't know what.
We're close to an apocalypse.
I don't know what calendar I'm looking at, to be totally honest with you. I don't know. I was flipping around my calendar, so I don't know what year my calendar's on. It's like my email. I accidentally had it put on spam. I forgot it wasn't on inbox. I was like, why am I not getting any email today? I was like, oh crap, I'm on the spam folder. But yeah, we have Life Day coming up, and then and then we'll have New Year's and start a whole new year of trooping, podcasting. What's your podcasting goals, Ken? If we started with going on and on about podcasting, any podcasting goals between now and the end of the year?
Between now and the end of the year?
So 2 months, roughly.
So I do have an episode that's in the works about the significance of the Star Wars Droids cartoon from the 1980s.
Nice.
And I have another one in the works about how the Bad Batch was really, really similar to the A-Team. So those are the.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of some. I'm just thinking of Wrecker and BA right now, right off the top of my head. I know the first one that's,
Yeah, well, they were both, they both, left the military, and
they both hated heights. Like Wrecker hated heights, and BA wouldn't fly on planes.
BA wouldn't fly on planes.
So it was one of those weird shows where you could drug your friend without letting him know. The fun 80s,
How about you?
Well, I think I'm gonna have to get Karita Cast rolling. Safi has started her own like art and building channel or whatever. So we're going to try to squeeze that somehow into Karita a little bit. She's been playing around with the time lapse photography. So I thought maybe we could talk over some of that.
Nice.
And Zoe's, they just hit 10 years. So still have to do a little work on that. Still have to figure out how to get on the call list that we used to be on for certain things. That's my only gripe. But I do think for 2026, I like your idea of some kind of marathon of some sort. Like, so we have to figure out.
Well, I think one way that we get on the list is to start asking for the makers to be on the show.
Yeah. Well, I've done that. I've asked multiple makers to be on this show and Zoe's show, and I have not had much success in the last, so. But we'll figure it out.
Well, one of the other things too that I've noticed about my show specifically, not to make this all about me, I'm not very good at being not topical. I'm not very good at being current. Like I don't hop on every week and talk about the latest book that came out, or the latest article that came out, or the latest episode that came out, or even for whatever reason now it seems like reaction videos are a really, 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 really big thing. Or a rewatch episode, they'll legitimately sit down, play the episode, and then talk over the episode.
Yeah, and
there are countless shows that are like that, whether it's The Walking Dead or different movies or whatever. That's a huge thing nowadays. But I don't do either of those.
Yeah, I can't. I personally don't like rewatch ones just because I don't like people talking when I'm watching. But yeah, no, I hear you on that one. I still think Ken should do some shorties for us. So I think you I think that would be enjoyable. Your take on just a short every Friday. Give us Ken's Friday or whatever you know.
My rambling thought for the day.
Bishop's Buzz, whatever, Yeah, your ramblings. Ken's ramblings. Just have a nice little jingle.
Yeah, less scripted. Because one of the other things I noticed with that last episode that I did, it took so much effort to put it into a script, and then I didn't even read the script as thoroughly or as completely as I wanted to, which is why I could have at least 3 more episodes about how Andor was remarkable. And
well, I liked your last one, so it was good. So I it's just listen, whatever, as much as we make fun of each other sometimes for not getting our costumes done or not doing episodes or going on every other show or whatever it is, as long as you're having fun doing it, like if it stops being fun, whatever it is, like to me, if any of it ever stops being fun, then I won't do it. I promise you, and I promise like my wife and anyone else that if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. It doesn't mean that, like, when you're building a costume, you might have a rough patch because of this broker, this. But I mean, overall, it's fun. Like this Halloween, we were talking before the show. I started setting up all week, set up all our stuff for Halloween walk, and it was Friday, and we were just putting out the stuff that can't stay out in the weather, putting it out. 10 minutes before Halloween starts, we turn it on. The Ghostbuster car goes blowing across my yard up into a tree, tearing out wires. And so we just shut it down. We shut it down. The Sappy give candy out with her friend on the front porch. No haunted walk. And old me at one point probably got frustrated. But it didn't take away from the fun I had all week setting it up. Like, it's tiring. And some days I came home from work and I was like, but I like that, planning it. And so I just enjoyed taking it down. It would have been more fun if we got to use it. It would have been more fun if I wouldn't have turned it on and I had to get wires that weren't supposed to be. But I think all of that, if you're doing Star Wars in any way, shape, or form, and it makes you happy, then good, like good for you, or whatever your fandom is. As long as it's not like hate fandom, like I don't want like Nazi people or anything like that. But
well, I'm a real big fan of kicking cats. That's my thing. I like going around the neighborhood kicking all the cats.
Yeah, that's going to be the cut from that'll be the blurb.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, as long as you're having fun doing it, I mean, the costuming thing, like I enjoy, we've talked extensively about our costuming groups, and sometimes costuming groups can feel like a little much, but I like the structure of the costuming groups. I like the structure and not so much structure of our podcast. I think you keep us on track some days, and some days I take us off track, and well, most days, and we still have a good time doing it. So,
for hours and hours at a time.
Yeah. And I liked it when we had John here. Like, I don't know, maybe we pick up another host, here or there once in a while. Like if we need to, or change whatever we need to change or not change. Like, I like it's just you and me. But if people say, hey, you need someone else too, I'm fine with that. I like podcasts with multiple hosts, like at least two. That's why I like what you and I do. But certain ones, you for one, and Steele Saunders, I think, are my favorite single person. It's hard for me to listen to other podcasts that are just one person.
Well, I'll take that as an honor.
Yeah, I like what you do with your podcast. So I know you're hard on yourself, and you want it to be perfect. And whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing as long as it makes you happy. I still recommend you should do some shorts, just for, I think that would be funny. Even if your short is just about what you're working on, I think people would enjoy it. Keeps your feed alive. I don't understand how podcast algorithms work. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I've tried. And so.
Well, I'm up to 14 subscribers on YouTube, so I'm
well,
I'm even
good.
closer to 1,977.
I haven't checked. I don't think. I messed up loading up our episodes, and they loaded up in the wrong order the other day, so I have no clue. What our things are all messed up. Let me see if I have. I think I have a. Where's my subscribers at? Oh, there we go. 270.
Nice.
So now that's we're going to take credit for some of those ones that were there for Zoe too. So I'll take 270. But yeah. So Ken, do you have any shows coming up before we cut out here? Are you a guest on any shows?
I will be on Around the Dejarik Table again in the not too distant future, and Todd and I are getting together next Thursday to record an episode of not Around the Dejarik Table, Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy.
Bounty hunting around the Dejarik Table. You're going to be rambling around the Dejarik Table with bounty hunters. That's going
with Todd.
Get all mixed up.
Yeah. Well, thanks for another great episode, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for everyone that tuned in. I think we actually had 6 people watching at one time. Plus, we had a few people on TikTok. Again, people on TikTok, we're sorry we can't see your chat. That's when I look to this side, I'm looking at TikTok. When I look to this side, I'm looking at YouTube. I mean, Facebook.
And big thanks to Todd and Sue for joining us again.
Yeah, thank you. And we're going to put out Friday. Yeah, a crossover would be fun. I mean, we should think of like have an event. I can reach out, see what she's on California time though, so it's tough. That's the only downside. Paramount likes to give them their schedule like 4 days ahead of time. So she's like but it would be neat to have some kind of crossover talk, and just to talk about the shows, just to sell the shows of what it's about. Because you do what we started this whole discussion was, it's hard to find new podcasts because your time is so limited, and for me, it's mostly drive time. And because I sometimes I listen to school, but I can't, I can only listen during my planning, and most of the time that's busy doing things that I can't just sit and listen.
Well, I could see if Rob and Tom and David, or even some of the members of the Ears Up Network, would be willing to get on and talk,
Yeah.
because they have a whole group that does various Disney related.
Well, see, that's what I would like to talk to some people, because I don't understand the whole network thing. Like I do understand what they mean by it, but I often should you, me, and Zoe's podcast be in a network, and what do we do to make it a network?
Oh, you mean like the unifying Star Wars?
Yeah, no, but
fandom?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like I don't I there's a lot of places that do that. Like there's a lot of podcasts that do that. And that's something I would like to pick someone's brain, or just hear why they do it, or how they do it, or why and how, or is it just verbal, or is it, like is there an official something?
Well, see, I want to go even one step further than that. Is I want to talk to some folks who have been successful with the Patreons and the merchandise kind of stuff. Not saying that I want to be, hawking wares or whatever. However, it would be kind of cool to be walking down the street and see another person other than me, wearing an Inflatable Falcon t-shirt.
Yeah, well, I like the merchandise I've looked into, and I think that's something we can do for us. But again, that your question goes in with my question, in the sense that if we're going to do merchandise, it'd be neat to have a network, so you have 3 to 4, because you don't make, like Zoe had shirts. She sold a few over the years. You make like 50 cents or $1 per shirt at most of those places, unless you want to stock inventory in your house and mail them out to people. You're not going to make, dollars for shirts, but it is neat to see people wear them. But yeah, that kind of stuff is just, like you said, it's just to be neat to see someone wearing a shirt, or be recognized wearing a shirt.
Or see our bumper sticker on the highway.
Yeah.
My other car's an Inflatable Falcon.
Right. I just want a Magic Jump shirt. That's what I want. And they don't really. I went on their website and everything. They don't make them. So I might badger Zoe to go over there. She's not as enamored by the Inflatable Falcon as I am.
Kids these days.
I know. You try to raise them with Star Wars, and then they live right next to where the Inflatable Falcon is made, and it's like the shipyards of Corellia. Is that where the Falcons were made?
Yeah.
Shipyards of Corellia. But yeah, it should be a fun week next week. We'll see what happens with the Inflatable Falcon doing the Empire Striketh Back.
And I want to apologize ahead of time if my reading is not that great. It has been a long time since I've recited anything Shakespearean.
The Old English, you're not practicing up on the Old English,
Come hither, yon knave.
Yes. But yeah, well, I could always use my Darth Vader voice changer. I could do Vader.
But that'd only be for a few lines.
Oh, that's all right. But then I could do 2 characters,
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then we have to look. I gotta look at when is the Galactic Empire coming back around?
November 21st.
Yeah, I can't go then, but I got to see when they're in Lidditz again, because I want to do Lidditz. November 21st, I have a robotics tournament, but I'm hoping that they'll do another concert. At Lidditz, I just like that. If you can go November 21st, though, run to get your Galactic Empire stuff, and then you can do a live report. That's what we need to do. A live report. We need a breaking news.
Yeah. From the pit.
From the pit. Yeah, I'm being I'm crowd surfing with the Jedi right now. I don't know if there was any crowd surfing when you and I were there. They were more just doing a
circle
running
dancing.
around in a circle.
Yeah, circle dancing.
Jedi circle. So, but
have to find my videos of that. Maybe we can put together a montage.
Start posting them up on TikTok. Maybe they'll send you some stuff too. Because I was just posting up photos, and I don't think they knew who I was when they sent me the stuff. I don't think they realized.
Dude, you worked on their costumes. Of course, they know who you was.
No, because I doubt they were. That was pre-COVID. or like right at the end of, because they don't remember me.
They know who you was.
You know?
Come on.
So I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, they probably have some like girlfriend or wife running their social media page. They're too busy rocking out. So, but Ken, it is time to
cue the outro.
Cue the intro. We're just using the intro as the outro.
Yeah, we're not playing it in reverse
because we could. I just like seeing you fly around the building as Mando. That's like my favorite.
I gotta get Savvy some better headshots.
Yeah, I wonder if we got a 360 our heads, like do a 360 shot with
that could work. The next armor party.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you everyone that tuned in, and here you go.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm up in Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight. Finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but I answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carbon night's off me, I'm living life now that I'm free, yeah. Told me get myself together, now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather, better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy, the carbon night is gone. I'm moving on, I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. Shades of cover up my eyes, I'm jumping in my ride, I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, solo. Picking up my blaster, putting it on my side, I'm jumping in my Falcon, Wookie at my side. I'm solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo,